the things that a motion that passed in the last meeting is a study to see whether Metro should have its own independent police force.
And you agree with that?
I do.
She at least agrees with the idea of a study. LA Mayor Karen Bass talking to me this week about the possibility of creating a police force just for Metro. We'll have more on that tonight at 10:30 on Fox 11. Now, this issue came to prominence after Rachel Haranga's story in the LA Times that more than 20 people died in 1 month while riding Metro, most of them from drug overdoses.
Joining us now is LA Times reporter Rachel Haranga. Your latest report is, in fact, about this concept, this idea about forming a Metro police force. Thank you for being with us tonight. How would this actually work? What would this police force look like, and how realistic is this?
Sure. Well, I think there's still a lot of questions out there. Nobody really knows what it's going to look like, but what they're doing right now is they're taking a look at if it's even feasible to look at it. I think one of the big questions is how much something like this would cost. Right now, the Metro is paying about $200 million a year for security from the Los Angeles Police Department, the sheriff, and the Long Beach Police Department. So trying to replace that with their own police force would bring an extra set of costs. I mean, they would have to take on their own pension system, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not to mention any lawsuits that might come out of it. It's a heavy lift, and I've talked to people, it says it takes a long time to do.
And, you know, part of the challenge for them, too, is their ridership is down because people don't feel safe. So it's like a chicken or egg thing with this as well. I mean, you obviously have ridden this train. You've documented this and investigated this. Do you think something like this would really make a difference? And if not, what would?
Sure. Well, look, I think the Metro feels certainly they're not fully happy with the enforcement that the Los Angeles police have done, the sheriffs have done. They feel that they're not as visible as they should be. There's questions about deployment and so forth. And I think there's probably, and on the flip side, sheriffs and the LAPD have also been restrained in what kind of work they do. It's been curtailed. They no longer do fare enforcement. And so that changes some of the dynamic of the security. At the same time, Metro is moving towards a sort of more holistic approach to policing. They don't want racial profiling and so forth. And so they've been trying to deal with some of these problems through social services, including subsidizing a shelter program, bringing people for homeless outreach, and as well as creating an ambassador program that helps people who are on the system find their way. If they're nervous, so forth, they can talk to them, ask them where to go. And I've actually seen these ambassadors sit with people in the cars because they were a little fearful.
Yeah, I mean, you're also referring to those unarmed ambassadors, and I think you're really touching on one of the concerns that Mayor Bass expressed to Alex, the idea that there are 3 law enforcement agencies that are tasked with protecting riders, and that seems to be a problem. Would you agree with that?
Well, I'm not sure that there are some people on the board who feel that they would like to see a new force because they would be more invested in Metro, that they could create a new culture and not import a culture that the LAPD already has, for instance, or the sheriff already has. And so they're hoping that they can create something that's more community oriented. I talked to one expert who sort of likened it to campus police, right? Where you're really trying to help out the students and be more service oriented versus always responding to violent crimes and trying to create a sense of law and order.
And the other law enforcement agency involved with this is the Long Beach Police Department as well.
That's right.
So based on what you're saying, we got a long ways to go before Metro Police becomes a thing. But at least on the board right now, there is a lot of support at looking at this as an option. Rachel, thank you for your continued reporting on raising these important issues.
Thanks.